Alrighty, this is Renegade Operative here, and today I'm a little sick, but I wanted to address a little problem with an established community. I've been a big fan of the Spider-Man fandom for a while now, slowly consuming the opinions of many users who delve into the mindset of the friendly neighborhood webhead. I'm going to be brutally honest, the Spider-Man fandom sucks massive fucking horse cock these days. Big giant red dead penis there. Half of what I'm about to say could be applied to many fandoms, but the reason why I'm speaking out about this one specifically is because it's so disappointing how the atmosphere has immediately changed in the Spider-Man community, from optimistic fans of the webhead to a bunch of elitist cherry pickers who get upset each time a new piece of media is released. That being said, here are 4 reasons why the Spider-Man fandom sucks currently and really needs refinements, because 4 is the lucky number. Number 1, we need to stop living vicariously through the leader of the Spidey squad. Evan is the living embodiment of everything wrong with most of the Spider-Man nitpicking in the community. He's always judgmental at every turn when a new snippet of information is released, especially on Far From Home. Basic common sense would tell you to watch a fucking film before blowing things out of context about stuff we don't know about. Let me give you a little role play with the daily life of Evan on Twitter. How will Mysterio be handled in Far From Home? I hope his reveal isn't lame. I hope I don't make an overcomplicated analogy with Edge of Time after referring to him as evil Peter Parker. Disney is literally stealing ideas. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that Aaron Davis didn't make any impact when he was unmasked as the Prowler to Miles in Spider-Verse. I'm the guy who was gunning for optimism, but let me show you my clown face by disliking unreleased material or making hot takes. Are you fucking kidding me with this guy? This guy is a leader. This guy cannot wait until a film releases before giving a fair opinion on it. Aaron Davis had no impact as the Prowler, especially on Miles. Remember guys, when your uncle is killed right in front of you after leading a life of crime and being unaware of your identity and vice versa, then it shouldn't have any impact on you, especially when the truth is revealed to you right there. It's not like the guy is family or anything, come on! I always see it in comments when people call Evan a cocksucker for Spider-Man PS4. I also think is quite ironic that I believe that Evan had a problem before with Peter Parker looking up to role models like Iron Man. Now, if you're a Spider-Man fan, obviously the gears are going to be turning in your mind. Peter Parker looks up to people. He is easily susceptible to people he believes that are better than he is, and he wants to strive to be like that while being his own person, of course. But he has looked up to Reed Richards, Captain America, Tony Stark. He's looked up to Norman Osborn. He's looked up to Otto Octavius. There has been plenty of people he's looked up to, and I think the great dynamic with Spider-Man is when he looks up to someone and they become actual villains, they become corrupted, and he tries to save that person. So you don't know shit, you don't know core Spider-Man if you don't understand that Peter is easily influenced by his role models and he looks up to people, but you have a problem with it because you're a hypocrite. Evan got blasted by his mom in a debate with the amazing Lucas, and he got told to shut the fuck up and take his ass to bed after she served him oatmeal cookies and milk. Godzilla Mendoza even said that Evan was a one-trick pony and only really blabbers about the Spider-Man community, and once that dries up, there's going to be nothing left. He's latching on to Marvel's Avengers right now. He's latching on to that ball sack. And I'm telling you, all he still talks about to this day on Twitter is still Spider-Man, which rings true. Take my advice, people. Lead by your own example and not through this guy. It's not really hard to make common sense. It's not really hard to think for yourself. Number 2, all the film purists should really take it down a notch there. I'll tell you the truth on this situation. We got Homecoming fanatics shilling out for Iron Man Jr., which had little to no action. We got Amazing Spider-Man fanatics who never had a good movie. We have Raimi fanboys who threaten developers on Twitter over a cosmetic skin under NDA with Spider-Man PS4.
Insomniac Games, you are fucking dead to me. You are genuinely dead to me. I am so fucking disappointed with this game, with this release, with this DLC, with this company. I'm glad this didn't win Game of the Year now. I really am. Just because the fucking studio is so anti-consumer. They don't fucking deserve it. This game was proof of concept how a Spider-Man game should work, could work, but the execution is just fucking garbage in so many different ways. It's actually insane how anti-consumer you guys are. Some kid said the Raimi suit is in Spider-Man PS4 with a screenshot of this. This looks nothing like the Raimi suit. You're a fucking dumbass. You're a fucking idiot. Studio's dead to me.
It's like all of you guys just sit there and make us look bad like you're lollygagging a giant black cock or something. I understand the love for the Raimi movies. I understand you jack off to Evil Dead as well every night there. But it's just a bit obsessive, if you ask me. Way too obsessive. Tone it down a notch. Tone down the nerd rage and think realistically, because if you ask me, the Raimi fandom this week, well, I would say last week actually, because I think that was when the reveal happened. So last week they held the L of the year. They thought that the random countdown to J.J. Abrams' new Spider-Man book was a Spider-Man 4 adaptation. And I already knew from the beginning that it was just going to be a new series unrelated to the Raimi stuff, which I speculated on Discord, and I was correct. Alex Ross just posting stills and art from Spider-Man 2's intro, which is animated, really is the definition of clout chasing, and I didn't expect that to be a solid confirmation. So I would begin tempering my expectations at this point with teases of Spidey content. Maybe if you did that, you would be less disappointed. I'm just saying. Number 3, I feel like we are unappreciative of Spider-Man's success. This is a big old motherfucking fact. There are passionate fans out there, and also a lot of whiners. When you get down to business, when you get down to the core of Spider-Man, you'll realize he's always been mainstream. Comics, films, video games, crossovers, anything you can list, he's in there. TV shows, etc. Even the X-Men, their popularity right now is not the same as it used to be. They dropped off the grid. They used to be white hot in the 90s. So I think all of these fans who complain about new releases for Spider-Man should be a bit more appreciative that Spider-Man is still widely popular. He could be in the proverbial graveyard as far as we know, just like Blade one of these days. So don't get too comfortable. Be happy he's still near the top of the mountain. And number 4, the smugness in the Spider-Man community really needs to stop, especially with people getting upset over mundane, retarded shit like Spider-Man swinging in first person in some of the movies when that's like a stylistic choice, handheld camera or not. Godzilla Mendoza also made this same claim with gross MCU people attacking others for their opinion because they want to smell Tom Holland's shorts there. But it's okay to have this knowledge about Spider-Man. It's okay to appreciate all the eras of the hero. It's okay to realize that we all have a little Spider-Man in us with the struggles of adversity and responsibility. But one thing that is a problem is people believing they know too much to the point where they develop a superiority complex about Spider-Man, and they fight over it and they make claims that makes zero sense and becomes annoying. I'll give you 2 examples of this. Exhibit B, fighting over the accuracy of the Spider-Man portrayal. Look, I'm gonna be honest here, none of the films are ever going to be 100% comic accurate with the things they've done so far. It's always a liberty taken in this form of media, whether it comes to Gwen Stacy not being Spider-Man's first girlfriend, or even dying at the hands of Green Goblin or some other shit like that. So don't make this entire big argument that this movie has a comic accurate portrayal and it can't be criticized, because the films are not always a one-for-one from the comics. Like the main 616 universe, there's probably things that happen that did not happen in the film. There's probably villains that we haven't seen yet. There's probably character developments that are completely backwards, that are done to affect and shock value, so you can get more enticed into the movie, because they had to cut a corner, because Sony might own a right or two and they can't get that particular character, so they decided to shuffle things around. Sometimes liberties are taken and you just have to accept it. And if you believe that everything is comic accurate in a Spider-Man film, then something is wrong with you. Look at the stuff between Ned Leeds and Genki, where Genki was originally supposed to be the friend of Miles Morales. Now he's the friend of Peter in the MCU. Everything is not always accurate. If you really believe that things are always comic accurate in each universe, then you need to dump your head in cement. Which leads me to my next point: fighting over certain portrayals within the Spider-Man community, especially in regards to film. As I just said, liberties are taken. However, Spider-Man has tons of different iterations that we love, like, or dislike, and there's nothing more annoying than people saying who is better, Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, or Andrew Garfield. Can't we just enjoy the fact that Spider-Man has differing renditions of actors who tried to work with the source material that they were given? This is all subjective, who is the better actor, and there's never been anything worth fighting over when it comes to your favorite portrayal of Spider-Man. No one is taking that away from you, but making a giant comment war, hot takes about good Spider-Man movies being bad just has to be seen as people wanting attention here. I think if someone gave me a good definitive reasoning, a good definitive discussion on why they believe that issues existed with these movies without sounding like negative clickbait, then maybe I'd be more inclined to listen to said person. Remember, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, and sometimes they could be full of shit, but no one likes it when you're being extremely misinformed and beating said shit over someone's head to validate your elitism. Stop it, be better people, and just love Spider-Man being in the mainstream. I mean, I do, and I have no problem continuing that for the future. Anyway, this is Renegade Operative signing off. What do you guys think of the video in question? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Sound off in the comments below. Let me know. How do you feel about the webhead right now? Do you agree that the Spider-Man fandom is in dire need of improvement with the things that I said? Once again, like, share the video, subscribe if you really enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys next time. Later.
What's your name, kid?
The Human Spider.
The Human Spider, that's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.